What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Black Ink Crew Chicago. Um, this season 6, episode 1 and 2. So what I'm about to do is just give y'all. I'm gonna break it up in episodes, whatever. I was gonna do it last night when it came on, but baby, let me tell you something. And I was just out of it. Last night was not a good night. I literally had to come home. Y'all know usually on Wednesday nights I do 2 reviews, 2, maybe 3 reviews, but now it's been 2. And I couldn't do it because it was a 2-hour episode premiere and I wanted to give it to you the way that you needed to give it to you and all that stuff. And I wanted to be the energy and all that. But baby, I had to come home and take a fucking nap. Okay. I had to come home and take a nap for an hour just to do the second review for the other show. And as soon as I finished with that shit, bitch, I went right back to bed. Okay. And then I get to work today and girl, it just didn't happen, Captain. Okay. I had to take a half a day, come home, take a nap, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming down with something. I don't know. But I'm gonna give it to you the most that I can. So this first episode, we basically get a reintroduction into the cast, into the new cast, okay? Because things have been completely revamped. And you know what? I always, to be quite honest, no matter how much they annoy me sometimes on this show, I do prefer Black Ink Crew Chicago, even though we know that, and it's not just because it's my city or whatever, because y'all seen me cuss these niggas out myself, okay? Regardless. But something about Black Ink Crew Chicago, even though we know that both shows, New York and Chicago, they kind of scripted. We know that. And one is more heavily scripted and stupider than the other one, okay? And it's no shade, but that's what we've been seeing throughout the years that we've been watching this show. That's why I kind of fell off on Black Ink Crew New York, because their stuff has become so comical and so unrealistic, and it's like, let's be real, like it's not good anymore, okay? It just seems like they throwing shit together. Whereas with Black Ink Crew Chicago, they dealing with some real shit, even though it's some little stuff that's, manufactured and sprinkled in here and there. I can bypass that. Okay. But last season, I really thought about not doing it because it pissed me off so much the way that they was going last season and all this infighting and who gonna be on this side and this side, and the way Ryan was doing things. And I understand the way and the reason why Ryan is doing the things that he's doing, but I necessarily probably wouldn't roll that way. But I get it. As a business person, you want your business to flow and to generate profit and to, get that return on your investment, baby. That's that economics. That's that business 101. I'm a business major. That's what I went to school for. Okay. But at the same time, you don't hit it out the park right away sometimes with these businesses. A lot of businesses fail when you first start, especially when you have no knowledge of how to run a business, okay? And so therefore, you have to do a trial and error type of thing. And I feel as though this was Ryan's trial and error with the original 9 Mag and the original people and who he has now, okay? And I do feel like with what he has going on now, he's going to be a little bit more successful and a little bit more stable. What I'm more so concerned about with Ryan is the situation that's going on with him and his home life and where he's staying at. Because, this episode starts off with him being with his family or his son Mason or whatever, his little 12-year-old cutie, and trying to juggle being a father, trying to be an active father, and also being a business owner. And he has to fly out here, he's flying out here, back to back, back to back, back to back. Okay, first of all, I want you to take your health into consideration and make sure you're getting your daily checkups or whatever, because all that flying and all that stuff, people can develop blood clots and stuff like that. We don't want nothing to happen to you, so I hope you're taking that into consideration. And having to deal with his son, and only being able to be with him for a few hours a day. And then we think that one scene where I think it's so convenient and so decent actually that Rachel is right upstairs and he can just drop the boy off. But I do agree with her that he should have called her and let her know that he was coming up there, and that plans have changed. Regardless of if we in the same building or not, you still should have let me know that you coming up here, because you're basically trying to make it seem as though, in my mind, in her mind I should say, that what you doing is more important than what I'm doing. Just because you ain't got that big volume of people right about now, I'm just drop him off because I got a lot of stuff going on downstairs. It's still communication, and that's part of the reason why you in the situation that you in now with her. But I don't know. Listen, it's a whole new season. We got a whole new people, whatever. I'm thinking about giving people as clean slates just a little bit because, Rachel didn't really piss me off this episode. And it looked like she got her eyebrows done. And I ain't in no mood and in no frame, to be talking about nobody and their looks and their appearance when I look like this. I'm going to keep on saying until I get my shit done because, baby, a raggedy bitch can't talk about another bitch being raggedy. I'm just saying. Rachel done stepped up a little bit, eyebrows done and everything, you know what I'm saying? So, I get her little plight and how she was feeling, but she let that shit go. And at the end of the episode, when Ryan was talking about how he just, becomes so engulfed in his business and running everything his way and, doing this and doing that to the point where, after he got into it with Rachel, things kind of rocky, whatever, and he had to move out. He decided not to buy another place, which I feel is kind of smart. Okay, don't waste money like that, especially when you know that y'all be on this up and down type of situation. Look at my face, bitch. I'm just tired. Damn it. This up and down situation that you're going to, for we not talking for a couple of months, then I'm back in the house, then we're not talking for a couple of more months. I feel it's smart that he went on ahead and just stayed up in the shop, okay, on his little air mattress. I see nothing wrong with it, but truth be told, you could go get you a little cheaper apartment, but I get it, and it saves money or whatever. But at the same time, I don't want him to be. When I say I'm concerned, it's just like because he's working so much. You have to worry about your health and you want to be strong enough and healthy enough to be there for your family or whatever. And you don't want to just let exhaustion and all that stuff take you out the game. Because, baby, I know how that shit feel. And it's not a good feeling, okay? Bitch, no. But, get that shit together. So then we got this whole thing with Don and Ashley. He and her are doing so much better. And I have to apply him for actually trying to get on the right foot because when we first saw him, he was a fuck up of all fuck up of hoes, okay? We never thought that Ashley and Don would get to the place that they are right about now. And so that's a good look to find them still together. They still want to renew their vows in Africa. Which country in Africa, they did not say. They just said the motherland because y'all know Africa is a continent that's made up of a bunch of countries too. Just like the United States of America, or I should say North America. Okay, some of y'all didn't know that, but I just put that out there for y'all. But somebody gonna say, bitch, we knew that. We took geography in school. Yeah, but people forget. Bitch, I'm just saying. Okay? And he wanted to have this little date night dinner. It's on a Friday. He ain't got shit else to do on the weekend. He got that off and he just want to be nice for her. And come to find out, she just went to the doctor and got some news that, is troubling her and is scaring her, making her nervous. She said back in 2013, she found a lump. Was it 2013? Yeah, 2013, she found a lump on one of her breasts, and the doctor said it's nothing to it or whatever, so don't worry about it. I hope they actually did the test for it to see that it was benign and nothing, because like on Married to Medicine, when Buffy was trying to see what was that lump on her stuff, and they said it could be extra, mammary tissue or whatever. So, and that's what they found out to be. But, if she changed up a certain type of way of her diet and stopped drinking certain things like caffeine and all that stuff, it slowly started to go away. We saw that. So I was like, is that what the situation was? Because, everybody is different. But she said it came back or it started growing and getting bigger. Shit like that scares me, especially the fact that it's cancer in my family. Somebody I know is currently going through cancer and been going through a journey of trying to get on the right track and get into remission from cancer for the past 4 years now, and that shit is scary as hell, and I feel for Ashley going through what she had to go through. Then she had to go to the doctor and get a little surgery, probably to be like a biopsy or whatever, to see, what's going on. And to the fact that Don was there being the supportive husband that he could be, I really, like that, and I like seeing that scene. because that's real life. That's some real life shit. Okay. That was that. And then we have the other main thing of the episode was Charmaine. Charmaine left Dime Mag not necessarily on her own. She basically was fired. And to be quite honest, we all were saying, what do we need a celebrity concierge for? Because with Ryan name alone, he can get the celebrities in there. He don't need nobody else or whatever. And I never understood her role in the shop after she stopped being like the little receptionist or whatever. So on that footing, I can understand why they cut ties with her, but the way that they did it, I can understand how she can feel a certain type of way. And she was saying some true shit. The environment was toxic, okay? And so she went out and she didn't just rest on her laurels and be all pissed off and crying or whatever. She went out and opened up her own shop. People like, and Ryan was pissing me off a little bit because it felt like you didn't expect this girl to go this route. So it's like, oh, what the fuck you know about it? He has this thing about people that don't tattoo to, opening up tattoo shops and stuff like that. He condones that. He don't condone that or whatever. My thing of it is, there's a lot of people that open up businesses or take over businesses that they don't know how to, particularly not in their field. You got people that's be on board members of hospitals and stuff like that and ain't a doctor, don't know a lick of medical terms or anything, but they control that shit. Okay, so I get where he coming from, but it's almost coming off as if you're a little bitter and you didn't expect this because it's Charmaine, and she went out and she did it the right way. If she didn't know that have the experience, she has a little bit of experience because she seen the way that y'all was working. Okay, so now she know what the fuck not to do and what to do. And so I would have took that as a fucking compliment. Like, my shit, being around me inspired you to open up your own shop and not just sit down and sulk and shit. That's what that would did. I would have felt like, damn, that's you felt inspired by me. That's cool. That I would have been cool with it. Okay? And it almost feels like, he felt as though she wasn't supposed to do it or whatever. Mind you, she went out and she got partnered with this girl just from London who, been tattooing in the game for 10 years. They know each other a little bit. And, it's not like she's just doing this on a whim by herself. She actually got somebody with experience and who can help out and regulate things. And they're running this shop and you all up in your feelings and trying to, comfort them just because they got smaller followers than you. They just opened up. So, of course, they're still trying to build up their media platform and all that stuff. So that was pissing me off the way that he was reacting to the fact that Charmaine went on ahead and did her own thing. And, I do like the energy so far, the vibe in the shop. Of course, they're going to be bigger. Come the season, they still got to build up that thing. They only been open for 6 weeks as this was recorded. And the different personalities so far, everybody is meshing well because it is new. I do like the gay boy plug, okay? I just don't want him to be a messy bitch. Please don't, because I'm so tired of the gays coming up on here and me rooting for y'all because y'all my peoples, y'all's my brothers. And then y'all fuck around and be the type of gay that I don't like. The messy kind. Okay? The real fucking messy kind. But anyway, they let him be himself. At one point he had a skirt on or whatever. And they was all cool with it. Wasn't nobody saying nothing. Because niggas, regardless of if the cameras is on or not, niggas can be ignorant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. We got a couple of tattoo artists from Chicago. From the west side of Chicago. I think Plug is from Saginaw, Michigan. The girl, she's from the Bronx. And then the light-skinned one, Zach, he's from, I think, Ohio. Okay. I'm going to get their names down soon enough. But they running a shop or whatever. And so far, so good. And, that's that. They do a little interview with Rolling Out magazine, which was a little test and go because they didn't know how it was going to go because Rolling Out is big supporters of, Black Ink Crew, I should say Nine Mag. And then they was throwing this little party for them. and Black Ink, well, Now Mad was invited, and they didn't know that that's what it was for. And the way that they reacted to it, it just made me irritated, because this is what they're saying, and this is what Charmaine is saying. Y'all don't lend support, okay? You act as though, you had this girl back, and you really didn't. You showing that you truly don't give a fuck, okay? Why are you in your feelings that she went out and she opened up a tattoo shop? So the fuck what? Don, you could have did the same thing. For if you really wanted to, you could have did the same thing. So is there some unwritten law that's telling us, or a written law that's telling us, that she couldn't go out there and open up her own shit? You can't show that you appreciative of her. You can't show that, hey, regardless of what went on, at the end of the day, we still family or whatever. Since y'all so big on this family shit, what happened was business. Y'all showed that y'all wasn't business friends or regular friends, okay? And that's where she coming from. It was a toxic environment. Y'all do a lot of sexist ass shit, okay, up in that stuff, and it is what it is, and that's just her experience. You can't come back her experience and make it seem as though, she lying or she putting 20 on 10. That's her experience, okay? And to get in your feelings just because you found out that the event was for them, that really pissed me off. And that you playing right into what she's saying, okay? Because that's what y'all was doing. And I'm so glad that they got, rid of Van and them. And then you talk about some, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that. Okay, then be cool. And Charmaine, you ain't got to do shit to get back at them, okay? You ain't got to use this as a revenge plot or whatever, because I can see how they can look at that and make it seem as though that's what you're trying to do. If it's in your heart to do it, okay? Do it for you, all right? Fuck trying to get back at motherfuckers. Just do it for you because it's in your heart to do it, all right? And it just made the men just come off like they're... I don't like the fact that they're it's setting it up to be like the men versus the women. But that's what it's looking like. And y'all looking real bitter at the fact that this girl just went out on her own and did her own shit. Okay? Where's the law that said that she couldn't open up her stuff? All right? Y'all weren't showing loyalty to her, so why she got to show loyalty to y'all? She don't work with you no more. Okay, y'all dissed her, y'all dropped her like that, made her feel insignificant. And we ain't even though I'm doing this and saying this about Charmaine, we can't put past the fact that Ryan did have Charmaine back at one point. We can't forget the fact that Charmaine had her car fucked up and he went and got that car out the lot for her and all that shit. We can't forget that he did a lot of stuff for them. But at the end of the day, it really, shit happens. And that's exactly what happened. Shit happens. Experiences and time change. And that's what went on. But anyway, that was basically the first episode. It was cute enough. I actually liked it. It wasn't too much drama. It was just a reintroduction to everything that was going on. Y'all know the drama gonna come later on in the show. Bitch, I was sitting there looking. I was like, wait a minute. New theme song. Chi-Town. I said, I'm so tired of hearing that damn song, for real. We've been hearing that song for the past 3 seasons, to be quite honest, all right? And they finally made it the theme song. I'm sorry about the glare. I really apologize. But they finally made it the theme song, and then they got a whole new intro, okay, bitch? Jess, Charmaine, for Don, and Ryan. Ryan and his baby hair curls, his carefree curls, okay? Ryan looks like he put Just For Me box perm stuff up in his hair, okay, to get his curls. Okay, he get that X curl activator type shit. The shit is lovely, okay? The shit is lovely. I will give him that. I was looking at his curls, I was like, listen, and I bet you they ain't even they the right type of moisture, and they shine just so bright, okay? I said, Ryan, do your thing with your hair. Truth be told, I would like to get a tattoo. I talk so much shit about them. They probably like, bitch, you got your goddamn nerves. I do. Okay? I really do, bitch. And Van is no longer on the show. Van, Lily, and Bella gone. Fine with me, okay? Because Van did the most with that shop last season when he got in charge. He was doing the fucking most, and he already, it is what it is. But y'all tell me how y'all felt about the first episode. So then we get on to the second episode. Basically what we found out, the second episode was kind of good too. It really wasn't as much and heavy as the first one, but it kind of was. first of all, forgot to put out there that in the first episode we found out that Ford went to jail for indecent exposure because he was getting head in the car. Now hopefully he ain't had to pay for that, but you know, and I'm talking about pay for the head, but that was situated, and it's nice to see Ford in a better place. You know, he had a new music video out and all that stuff. But you got Charmaine using her job at WGCI at the radio station for good to, you know, promote her company. That's cool. Then we found out that her and Neek went on ahead and got married at City Hall. God damn, my lips are dry and it's irritating me, and I don't want to get up and go get the stuff right now. But anyway, so if y'all see me still licking my lips, that's why. Anyway, so they went on here to the City Hall and got married. Okay. And I knew this was going to be a big problem for the family, the mothers. And sure enough, you know, they were trying to say this is what was right for them. They didn't want to be gooped into or forced into, you know, doing this whole big wedding or whatever. They doing their own tradition. And that's the thing about getting married. I can't stand the fact that the marriages, I feel as though if you want to have a wedding, the wedding is for what is going on outside? I gotta go see. I'm gonna hurry up so I can go see what's going on outside. You know niggas nosy as shit. But anyway, cause that sounds too close. Marriages, you know, or I should say the wedding day, that's for the bride and the groom, to be quite honest. And if they want to invite you in, and that's including family, mothers, fathers, whatever, aunt, cousin, all that stuff, brother, sister, if they want to invite you in, that's an honor, okay? And if they don't want to have it, that's up to them. But they're not obligated to have an actual big old wedding in a church and all this stuff and have all these 15 million bridesmaids and all that, whatever. They can go down to City Hall because technically speaking, once you get married, regardless of if you get married in a church, in somebody's backyard, in somebody else's building, on a destination, on a beach or something like that, as long as you got that marriage license signed and delivered, you're married. You're married. Okay, you're just going through with a ceremony, you know. The ceremony does not say that you're married. Yandy and Mendici went through a whole ass ceremony and they still was not married because the paperwork was not in. Technically and legally, in the eyes of the law, you were not married. Probably in the eyes of God, you probably were, but legally speaking, to get the benefits, to get all the spousal rewards and stuff that you get when you're together, and to be looked at legally as this person's wife and husband, they were not married. Okay, so you know, some people want to go through all of that, some people don't, and that's their right. But of course, most mothers wants that. They want to be there for that special day. And we saw that with Neek and Charmaine's moms. And, you know, I already knew Neek's mom was not going to be here for it, okay? Because she does the traditional Caribbean mother, you know. She already said, I'm not buying this whole thing about y'all being married unless you just married in church, you're not married. Mama, technically speaking, and we need to check and see if is the mama married? Because if so, we need to check and see if they got because of the way that she talking and how deeply filled she is, we gotta check and see if she got her marriage license and if it's been legal this whole time. Because if you ain't got your license, mama, you ain't been married this whole time either. But I get why they upset, and because they didn't tell nobody, but it is their decision. And sometimes you would want to be a part of something like that and be thought of. But I totally understand wanting to just go ahead and just get it out the way and do what's best for you. Okay. And sometimes that's the cheaper option because we don't have that much money to spend on this lavish ass wedding or whatever. And it was really nice to see that at least now, you know, I don't know. Did they ever have a big wedding or whatever? Because I think they was gonna go ahead and do it because of the way the mothers felt, even though that they act like they didn't want to do it at first. But it's so sad to think about it because we already know they're gonna show it later on in the season, but it's already been out there on the blogs or whatever. Charmaine's mother passed away recently, you know, this year, and so that's. Oh, I can't imagine how that feels for her, you know, given that after the fact that, you know, she already technically got married and then she couldn't throw that big wedding that her mother wanted to see, and her mother couldn't see it if they didn't already do it. And then, you know, the fact that her mom, because they gave her them this envelope, and showing with the pregnancy test, and they're showing that they're pregnant. And yes, it came out this week that she is pregnant, and the fact that her mother is not going to be here to see the baby, her first grandchild, the baby, the one and only grandchild that the parents have, because Charmaine is the only child. That has to be, oh, I can't imagine that feeling. That's going to be emotional as hell. But congrats to them. Moving on from that, Ashley and Don, they go to the hospital, or to the doctor's office, I should say. And, Don was just talking to the boys or whatever about how they was waiting on the whole thing about the results and everything from the surgery that Ashley had, and they had to wait 48 hours for it. And it was like, it's not the knowing that it's nerve-wracking most of the time, it's that wait to get to the knowing. And so, come to find out, Ashley is okay, which is a blessing as well. That is great. So that was a good news. And we get this little cute story. I guess they try to, slowly introduce the Second City cast into the show. The little relationship that's brewing between, chemistry that's brewing between Zach and Drea. That's the girl's name. Zach and Drea. Drea tell us her story, where she come from. She was in the Bronx. She been out on her own since she was 16. She had to work. She used to be a stripper. She hustling and all this stuff. She hustled a tattoo out of Zach. Okay, played up on his emotions that he liked her. And he said, I had this couple tattoo, and if you want to do one, you're going to have to go on a date with me. And she was like, cool. So the couple came in, and they got these huskies, okay, husky doll. I will say I like Zach's tattoo a little bit better, but both of them was nice. They both, the details and the realism of them, they both were nice. And I was like, okay, so Charmaine really do got some quality tattoo artist on her hand, so at least she got that part right. I do like the fact that Jess comes around and she looks at each tattoos and look over the work to make sure it's good, so that we won't have no shit like perseverance being spelled with an extra R, okay, with against being spelled wrong, you know what I'm saying, shit like that we seen in the other show. But that's good. That means that you take your business serious, and the fact that the artist don't feel a type of way about her coming over, that's good morale that we seeing so far. But they just now opening, so anything can happen. Like, literally anything can happen. But moving on from that, they do go on a little date. We get some little background on, Zach. He's biracial, and he's never fit in with the black people, never fit in with the whites, and tattooing was his way, doing what he got to do to get accepted and all that stuff. Made him a little cocky. That's his little defense mechanism. Dre is attracted to it. They to go out to ice cream, and then they start kissing in the ice cream shop. I said, ew, it might be kids there. Okay, how y'all feel about PDA? Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I'll be like, girl, go the fuck away. Especially like if it's an older couple and they be standing down there walking and holding hands and they kiss, I be like, oh. And even sometimes with some young couples, but when y'all be doing them, bitch, take that shit in the car. Take that shit in the car. I want to see that shit. Okay, you ain't finna ask me to join in, so don't. I don't want to see that shit. Okay, but yeah, that was nice. Kind of just threw that in there, to be quite honest. I guess to fill out the episode. But one of the main points of the episode was Ryan. Oh my God, that shit touched my heart, because we had Ford in his situation when he was going through his depression or whatever, and then I literally just said, I think it's kind of cool or okay that he's staying at the shop, because he don't want to waste money, but he has the money to get a place to stay at. And then you got the boys telling him, I don't think that's cool. That's a little whacked out to be staying at the shop all the time. And Ford was like, you may not be going through depression, but baby, you going through something. And he could be going through depression, okay? Because he still has not dealt with the grief of his sister. His sister that passed away 10 years ago. He hasn't really been talking to the family. He hasn't been really going over there to their get-togethers or whatever. His mother and his sister had to come and pop up on his ass to see what was going on. And, he even said, I don't even understand the reason why we need to have, celebrate her birthday, and go over there and do all this stuff for the birthday, because what are we celebrating? She's gone. All right. And it's just bringing back all those memories and stuff like that. And I get where he's coming from. But at the same time, you want to remember the good times or whatever. But sometimes the grief be so deep and so heavy. And we understood later on in the episode why it's like that for him, because he feels guilty. He feels as though, you know, to see him break down finally, that was a touching moment. I can appreciate that, because a lot of people feel that way sometimes, that they hold things in until it bubbles over, and you can see that, he just basically put himself all into his work so he wouldn't have to deal with the fact, like fully 100% deal with the fact that his sister is gone. Okay, and people, that goes to show, oh, somebody probably gonna say, I mean, that was 10 years ago, why don't you get over it? You never get over somebody that you truly love. Somebody that you truly loved and cared for. You will never get over that. That shit will hurt you till the day that you die. You just learn to live with it and learn to roll through it. That's what you learn, okay? Because till this day, you mentioned, and I don't even want to do it because it's about to get me going. Mention my uncle, I get sad as shit, okay? And I be ready to want to cry, okay? That's how it is. And he's been gone. He's been gone for 5 years, almost, and it's just a lot. I mean, and they suggested that he go see a therapist. He was like, "Nah, I don't want to go talk to no therapist or whatever. I don't see how you gonna sit there and talk to and let me talk to my telling my business or whatever's gonna help me and all this stuff to a stranger." And that just goes to show that the same thought patterns that goes on, especially in the African American community when it comes to therapy. They always say you just go talk to God, go to church and talk to your pastor or whatever. You don't need to go to no therapist and all that stuff. But most people do need to go to therapists, and it's like a taboo in our community, and we need to get up out of it. And I do appreciate the fact that these days we see more of our community, and I'm talking about the African American community, talking more so openly and freely about mental illness and talking about going to therapy. And that's a good look, but I'm glad that he didn't just say, put it all to the side. I mean, you seen Ford going through what he was going through, and he realized too when he was telling him, okay, you can come talk to me, I ain't going nowhere, but he still needed extra help. And you need that extra help too, because you still not talking to people. You say you got people to talk to, but you still not talking to people. And so you go to the therapist, and we find out that he basically feels guilty because he was supposed to come down there to pick up the money for his tattoo machine, and he wound up going to a party and staying the extra time because he was drunk and hungover or whatever. And by the time he got there, her sister was gone. Okay, he felt like if he would have stuck to the schedule that he was going to be on, he would have been able to help and save his sister and his niece. And so, I'm glad that they actually show, and I'm glad that the therapist said, I'm not a fixer, okay? I'm the person to help you get to connect the dots to show you what you need to do, all right? And show you what your issues are. And he was like, you think I got some more? She was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I said, Brian, you got a lot more shit under the surface that you need to get up out. Okay. And I hope he stick to it. And I do like the fact that it was a black therapist too. I said, come on, sister girl. But anyway, that was basically it. This is the longest review that y'all probably will ever get for this season because it was 2 episodes put in one. So I hope y'all stick in. I will say so far, it was a nice episode. Both episodes was really nice. Not too much drama, but it kept my interest, okay? And it felt a little bit more real than it's been feeling in a long time. But y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.